What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam. Hope you guys are doing phenomenal tonight, man. Hope everyone has had a great Thursday. I hope you guys are ready for another live 2023 fantasy football mock draft with you guys, with the Catch fam, of course. Tonight, full PPR, 12-teamer, one quarterback, two running backs, two wide receivers, a tight end, two flex spots, kicker, defense, 5 bench spots. So, excited as ever to be here with you guys and excited to hop into another mock draft. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe on the way in because that will make me happy and you can hear me talk about fantasy football. Smash that like, guys. Let's try and get as many likes as possible on the stream. And other than that, most importantly, as always, hop in the live chat. Let me know what's popping. Let me know how you guys are doing. Any fantasy football topics you guys have? Any NFL topics you guys have? Redraft, dynasty, best ball, whatever you guys want to bring up tonight. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk some fantasy football. And we're not going to waste any time. Let's get this mock draft going. So, August 17th. We are getting close, ladies and gentlemen. Right around the corner. The season is going to smack us right in the face. Today, not really a lot of news. Nothing really coming out the last day or so. I mean, you kind of had, like Jameson Williams, hamstring injury. Amon-Ra St. Brown got a little banged up. It was a little scary for the Lions, but, the Treylon Burks injury happened. He's expected to miss a couple weeks with a sprained LCL. Jonathan Taylor's been excused from training camp due to a personal matter. Overall, I mean, a lot of news right now is a good thing, because generally that means like nobody's getting injured. Outside of that, we had the Russell Gage injury as well, but I don't really know how fantasy relevant Russell Gage was going to be this year. But nonetheless, most news right now is who's getting hurt in training camp and who's not. So no news is good, right? But yeah, I mean, outside of that, we're just monitoring the preseason games and not a whole lot going on there either. So that's my news update for you guys. Not very exciting tonight, but nonetheless, Catch fam, redraft tournament starts tomorrow. I know it's a little early, but ultimately, I have like 6 drafts for the community that I had to run this off season, and ultimately, it was better to start now and make sure we could get everything, on the schedule. So I know it's a little early, but league number 1 is drafting tomorrow night, which I'm super excited for. So 10 p.m. Eastern time, I will be streaming that draft with Steven. Steven is making an appearance tomorrow, so I hope you guys are excited for that. Man, I wanted CeeDee Lamb right here. But yeah, it's going to be a good night. We're going to have some fun. And I know you guys will be excited to see Steven. He'll be excited to see you guys as well. So make sure you guys come out tomorrow, whether you guys are drafting or not. It's going to be a good stream. So, all right, other than that, if you guys are an active YouTube member for the channel, you guys are paying the monthly subscription. I do have an exclusive league for you guys. It's a Superflex league. And there's still 6 spots open. So I'm trying to reserve all those spots for active YouTube members. The league is halfway full. If you guys are interested, be sure to let me know. And that way I can get you guys a spot. So, other than that, nothing to really go over here in terms of announcements. So, let's hop into the live chat, see what's going on. And, any fantasy football questions you guys have, let me know. And if you don't have a fantasy question, make one up. Let's talk some fantasy football. Let's do it. By the way, I do have like a ton of mock drafts still coming out in terms of uploads. And my schedule for the mock draft uploads is filling very quickly. So If you guys have any requests, make sure you guys get those in, because I'm already at a point where I'm like, oh man, how am I gonna get all these done? So go check out the uploads, especially if you guys are in 8-team leagues, because I have a lot of 8-team requests right now, but I have some 8-team videos, 10 teams, and 12 teams up so far. All right, Albert, what's up, man? How are you doing? Senior Cinnabon, what's up? What's up? RS, what's going on, man? Tommy, what's up? What's up? Matt, good to see you. Cinnabon, thoughts on the trade I posted in the Dynasty chat? Let me pull it up. I took a glance at it. Uh-oh, we lost Chunk. I'm sure he'll be back. Dynasty chat. All right, so you'd be getting the 1.1, or oh, it's a 14-team startup. Okay, so you get the first rounder, 13th overall, 2.2, and a 2024 first. You give up the 1.5, 2.10, and a 2024 third. I mean, I think it's a fair trade if you like it. The big question is, like, I mean, I do think it's a good trade for you, especially because you acquire that first rounder. But the big question is, who do you want in the first round? I see you putting it's a super flex league, and I mean, there's going to be a drastic difference at who you get at the 1.5 compared to the 1.13. When you're at the 1.5, you're going to be able to lock in a stud quarterback. You know, I mean, Mahomes, Allen, Hurts will be gone. Burrow's probably going to be gone. And then whoever, you know, I mean, and if it's not Burrow, like maybe due to the injury, I don't know what, Herbert's gone there. It just depends on who you're drafting with, right? Nonetheless, you're locking in the stud quarterback at the 1.5. I think you know that. So you just kind of have to weigh that. Like, who am I going to get at the 1.13? You get an earlier second round pick. So, I mean, that's what's happening here. You're moving back in the first round, move up in the second round. You get that 2024 first for an exchange for a 2024 third. So, overall, I mean, I do think it's a good trade, but the big question is, how do you value that 1.13 pick versus the 1.5? Because the quarterback selections at the 1.13 aren't going to be as good, obviously, and then you're going to have to look at things and say, do I want to go quarterback in the second round as well? You have a better shot at doing so with the 2.2 compared to the 2.10, but you might get in a position where you feel like you have to take a quarterback at the 2.2. Does that make sense? So it kind of depends on how you view that that first round selection. So, Emil, what's up, man? Good to see you. Tommy, still considering Bijan at 1.1, but is trying something different. Well, I wouldn't say drafting JJ something different necessarily, but I get what you're saying compared to what you've been doing going Bijan. I mean, hey, I don't have a problem with Bijan at 1.1, but I think I'm still probably going JJ at that spot. Tommy, how does the playoffs work for the tournament? Do all 4 leagues combine into one playoff? So, no. How it works is each league has their respective first, second, and third place winners. And then after that, essentially what you're competing with is total points scored. So each first place team in each league is competing against each other. Whoever has scored the most points on the season takes the grand prize. So if you get, let me make this selection, sorry. Dang. DJ Moore already gone. I think I might switch it up tonight to see what happens. I'm going to go double running back right here. I'm gonna switch it up a bit. But yeah, so essentially, if you're the first place, you know, each first place team, whoever has scored the most points on the season out of each first place team gets the grand prize. Does that make sense? So, you know, really the way that it keeps it competitive for everyone in each specific league is just by keeping track of points scored throughout the whole season. And generally, Like last year, I would post that like every week, so people could. I just post like the top scorers in each league, so people could kind of keep up with it. And it got pretty close actually between some of the teams last year. So yeah, I don't really know a way to do it to where like each league's kind of break off and compete against each other or anything like that. But essentially, the tournament, the point of it is to score the most possible points and to finish as the highest placed team in your league. So, you're mainly competing against the teams in your respective league, but you're still in a sense competing against all the other teams in all the other leagues at the same time. So it was fun last year. And like I said, it actually got pretty close. And yeah, it ended up being a good tournament. So we had a good time. Andrea, hello. Emil, we should do a Catch Fam meetup next year. That would definitely be fun. I mean, I'd be down to organize it, but I don't know how many people would truly like want to come out because I probably had to organize it close to where I live. I don't feel like I'm quite at that level to where like, I can organize a meetup and it would be worth everyone's time. But if enough of you guys are interested, I would be down to set it up in the off season. Matt, should I pick up McKee and put on Taxi if Gage is hurt in Dynasty? I think Mariota sucks. McKee is better. I don't necessarily have a problem with that if you want to throw him on your Taxi squad. If you have room on your Taxi, I mean, it just kind of depends. Like, are you sacrificing anyone on your Taxi squad that you have faith in? As long as you're not, I don't have a problem with it. All right, into the 5th round we go. Oh, if I have Hurts. Oh, I thought I was kind of confused. Like, how does the Russell Gage injury like correlate to that? But that makes more sense. Yeah. If you believe in him over Mariota, then I think that's fine. I think that's just fine. I do kind of like Tanner McKee as well. Still got Ian Book on that roster, but I don't know if that's really going to matter. I mean, with the new quarterback rules, like I think all 3 of those guys could be there on the roster, right? I think Mariota will still be the backup though, but I think like long term it's an okay move because McKee in his rookie season compared to Mariota in his 9th season, and I don't remember did he sign a 1-year contract? Hold on, I'll look it up. Yeah, he's just on a 1-year contract, so I think McKee's fine to hold on to. All right, 5th round wrapping up here. Well, not really wrapping up, but moving towards the middle. Yeah, I just want to go double running back right there at the 3rd round turn to see what happens. My mind went DJ Moore. He was already gone. Been a heavy quarterback draft so far. I mean, nothing wrong where any of these guys are going, but lately I feel like quarterbacks have been shifting back just a little bit. But I think this is more realistic to what you guys will see on your draft days. Let's go. I still got Christian Kirk. I almost reached for him at the 4.1. Still got my guy. I'm very tempted to take a 3rd running back right here, but I'm going to go with an additional wide receiver. And there are a lot of names available I like, but I'm going to reach for some upside. I'm going to go Jahan Dotson here. But Pittman, Lockett, Hollywood Brown, Pickens, Deontay Johnson, Jordan Addison. Plenty of good names right there, JSN. I just feel like Dotson is might be a kind of a boomer bust guy, but I just feel like, for that second flex spot, having that upside is nice. They could easily argue Lockett brings that upside. I mean, overall, I probably like Hollywood or Lockett the best, but give me the upside, give me the risk. Yeah, if I went running back there, it was probably DeAndre Swift. Swift as a RB3 just feels really nice. But I felt like spending that, double draft capital at the beginning of the third or end of the third, beginning of the fourth turn on running back completely. I had to go double wide receiver in a double flex league. If this was a one flex league, maybe I'd go Swift there. Mr. Curly Wolf's in the house. What's up, man? Drafted Bijan, Hurts, Skinny Batman, and Kittle. Hoping the Dotson and Javonte Flyers give me the chip 2 years in a row. Well, hey. I just showed some confidence in Dotson, so hopefully that makes you feel better. Tommy says, I don't like my start for some reason. I mean, I probably am not going Hawkinson there, but I mean, our starts other than that kind of mirrored each other, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs. JJ Gibbs Jones doesn't really bother me. J-Dubs, what's going on, man? Hello, hello. I hope you guys are ready for League One's draft tomorrow. I feel like somebody's going to get put in a really bad position. Like, somebody's going to draft someone who gets hurt. This is like the earliest I've set up a draft in a while. But like I said, just with my schedule right now, had to start getting these on there. Jay Fitness, what's up, man? Good to see you. Yeah, it's definitely part of the game. You're right, J-Dubs. I really haven't drafted. I mean, it feels like we're like super far away, but you pull up the calendar and I mean, we have this weekend, and then we have 2 more weekends. Like, we're like 3 weeks away. I mean, actually, I think we're exactly 3 weeks away from kickoff. So it's still early. A lot's going to can happen in 3 weeks, but it'll be okay. We'll make it through. All right, what I want to do moving up here at the 712 8.1. I feel like this is a good start. I definitely don't have that early quarterback, upside or whatever you want to call it. But other than that, I feel okay about this start. Kobe traded. Let me go back one. CZG. I don't know how it was so hard for me to say. Just did a draft with my people, coworkers, and got a broken team. I think I want to rate my team. Hey, throw it out here, man. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to try and mock with like kind of a competitive group. You don't want to come out of your mocks feeling like amazing every single time. You know what I mean? Like, you want to kind of be challenged when you mock draft and kind of feel like, oh, I need to kind of sharpen something up or like maybe try a different strategy. And don't get me wrong, I mean, you can still come out of your draft feeling good, but you definitely don't want to always come out of your drafts feeling like you drafted a god-level team or anything. Man, talk about a running back run right here. White, Monty, Pacheco, Madison, Cook, gone. Everyone I was looking at drafting. Do I draft Dalvin Cook here? Like, or do I just go A.J. Dillon or Gibson? Like, give me Cook. Let's do it. I mean, who do you guys like right there? I'm going to go Sky Moore tonight. Some other names right there, but I'm going to reach on Sky Moore. Cook. Dalvin Cook. Not to be confused with James Cook. Dalvin Cook, A.J. Dillon, Antonio Gibson, or Brian Robinson. Who do you guys go with there? All right, Kobe. Traded Dobbs away for 2024 second and 10-team Superflex. What do y'all think? I would have held Dobbs personally because I think Dobbs is going to have a much better year this year than his rookie season. You know, I mean, I guess you could look at it either way, right? Like if you hold him and he does have that good year, then you gain value in the long run. If you don't hold him like you did and you trade him, then you're kind of banking on him not having too great of a year, you know, not taking a step forward as a sophomore. But I think that chemistry between Jordan Love and Romeo Dobbs is real. And I mean, I've already seen a little bit of flashes in the preseason. And I think we're going to continue to see that. So I would have held him personally. I'm a Dobbs fan, though. And I just think if you held him, you may have ended up with better value long term. J-Dub, thanks for watching at work, man. Tommy, been in the 90s all week, been on vacation, burnt, I'm sure. I'm sure you are. Where are you on vacation at? Cinnabon, I always feel pretty good every time I draft from the 1-3, so I'm pumped for tomorrow. Let's go. 1-3 is an interesting spot. It's like, is a running back going to go at 1-2? Do I take the first running back if JJ and Chase are gone? Who's the first running back I take? 1-3 is a little bit of a difficult decision. All right, CZG. 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 flex, tight end. You got Lawrence, Saquon, Dobbins, Tyreek, Allen, Ridley, Debo, and Njoku. On the bench, Javonte, Herbert, Lockett, Watson, Kincaid. I mean, a 10-man. I mean, for a 10-man, I actually feel like that's pretty realistic. You know, even in a 12-team, it's probably not realistic for a 12-team. But for a 10-team, I do feel like that could happen. I mean, a lot of good options. Is it Christian Watson on the bench? Or Deshaun Watson? I'm going to assume Deshaun Watson. I mean, I guess you look at some of these players. Keenan Allen, maybe Debo. Ridley. Javonte. There are some guys who are either like veteran-esque or coming off of or dealing with injuries, you know. Dobbins as well. I mean, I think it's a good team. If it's Christian Watson on the bench, okay, it is. I mean, I like Watson on the bench a lot. Watson and Lockett on the bench is really nice in a double flex format. I mean, ultimately, what you want to look at doing is starting T-Law, Saquon, Dobbins, Tyreek, and I'm going to say Ridley at the wide receiver 2 spot, Debo in the flex spot. You might be putting Christian Watson in that second flex spot over Keenan Allen at times. And Njoku's a good tight end. I mean, it's a good team for sure. Yeah, I think it looks solid to me. So, I mean, I feel pretty good about that draft. I mean, Tyreek, Ridley, Debo, Watson's really nice with the option to have Allen and Lockett moved in there as well. Running backs actually outside of Saquon scares me a little bit. Because just with Dobbins and Javonte's, you know, injury history, and then Herbert, you know, the big play in preseason, but at the same time, I don't know if we exactly know what we're going to get out of Herbert this year. It's still a pretty crowded situation there at the end of the day. Give me Romeo. But yeah, team looks good, man. Cinnabon, can we just copy and paste my draft tonight to the actual draft? No, it's not allowed. Not allowed. Hey, J-Dubs, I hope you surprise us, man. I hope you do. Went to the ocean last week, 2-hour drive, but now home. Oh, good. That's right. I mean, you don't have too far of a drive from where you live. That's nice. went hero running back. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I mean, if Dobbins is fully healthy, I think you're in a good spot between Dobbins and Saquon. Dobbins just scares me a little bit. A little bit. I mean, I think, Javonte could be fine, but also I think Javonte will be more recovered next year. But I guess you could say that about anyone coming off an injury. I don't have a problem whatsoever in a double flex format going hero running back, though. I mean, the team is good. But obviously, this was just your mock, so. I mean, if you went into the season with this team, I still think you'd be in a good spot, for sure. So. A God-level team is kind of hard to really say, but 10 team, it looks good. I mean, your main thing here is just running back depth, but like through the waiver wire, you're going to be able to address that. I mean, that's just how it works, right? All right, so for the Superflex League, for those of you who are potentially listening in, Superflex League, I'm trying to get filled. These are the names. I mean, people I have eligible. So Heavy CMC, Tommy. I'm trying not to say anyone who's already in there. Taylor, Jay Speezy, Tox, Gobbs, Richard Glass, Spencer. That's it. Oh, and Taylor, too. Did I say Taylor? Taylor's eligible as well. So, if you guys are interested and you're here tonight, let me know. I definitely want to try and get that league filled. I think it's going to be a fun league. And it's going to be a keeper league, so I am going to try and keep that kind of like the auction league where, like, everyone came back this year. I want to keep the Superflex League like a running league on a regular basis. Which brings me to my next point. The auction league has one spot open still. So, if you guys are YouTube members, we do have options for you. Oh, sorry, CZG. That's a hard one for me. Chunk, why'd you have to pick Komet? You don't need 2 tight ends. I need a Komet. I mean, I didn't know Buck was going to go tight end or not. He did. Okay, I don't know why I thought you said that was a mock draft, dude. I think the team is good. Yeah, you should feel good for a 10-team format, for a double flex format. Like, I'm going to value that wide receiver, the wide receivers overall over running back. So I think the fact that you went hero running back is completely fine. I'd be pretty happy with that team. Stuck with Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz, I'm now going to claim as the steal of your fantasy drafts. Watch out. As soon as I picked Tua and Romeo Dobbs, I was like, oh, man, I meant to pick Komet right here. I meant to get my tight end. Yeah, CZG, I feel pretty good about that draft, man. Cinnabon, you're welcome. Thank you for running or modding the Discord and running the Discord. Tommy, it is a redraft format, Superflex redraft. Keeper leagues are fun, man. I mean, the whole thing with the keeper league is it kind of entices people to come back the following year. And if they don't, it's not the end of the world. Like, pretty easy to get somebody to take over a previous keeper team, because all you're doing is selecting one player to keep from any round. So, Vincent, what's up, dude? Dynasty Superflex startup 12 team. Thinking Bijan at 9 overall. What do you think? I mean, I don't have a problem whatsoever with that. But Superflex, startups, I'm usually going quarterback in the first. Depends on what quarterbacks are there at the 1-9. I mean, sometimes you see like Fields or Lamar or T-Law even fall out. If a quarterback's there, I'm taking them over Bijan. I just think on a yearly basis, the quarterback position is going to have more value than maybe anything. Maybe wide receiver is the next closest, but for me and dynasty startups, quarterbacks and wide receivers hold more value than anything. I don't spend as much draft capital on running back. If you're going to spend draft capital on running back, it is on Bijan, though, for sure. All right, Dalton Schultz video is coming up for you guys, promise. J Fitness Superflex format. Our Superflex league is for YouTube members only, so I'm sticking to it. For the Dynasty leagues, those were supposed to only be for YouTube members, and the two Superflex leagues basically are. The one quarterback league, I started to let non-YouTube members in, but yeah, you have to be a YouTube member, which is $4.99 a month. I'm just trying to have like some exclusive perks for the YouTube members at the end of the day. So you have to be on the active list of YouTube members. All right. I really like the start to this draft. I think the ending got a little murky though. But, you know, it's nothing Kirk Cousins can't fix, right? Or Daniel Carlson. Let's go. Two best picks of the night. Steven Joe, what's up, man? Vincent, I agree, and I thought about those exact QBs, but I think I can get a good QB at 16 next pick. I think Bijan is next. Tomlinson, that's fair. As long as you're okay with the quarterback you end up with and you still go quarterback in the second round, I'm okay with it. And then just keep in mind that second quarterback you get, you know, you want to eye a guy like Daniel Jones, you know, somebody who's still like relatively young, but also like doesn't have the potential to suck. So as long as you're okay with the quarterback you get in the second round. I mean, I know things have changed and every league is different. And we drafted a while ago, but here's our first Superflex format. So Bijan went at 1.12 in this draft. At the 1-9, you still had Lamar and Watson available, but this was before Lamar signed the contract. And then at the 2.4, I mean, this was an early pick for Daniel Jones. So that's not to be expected. Here's another one. And Bijan went to 1.11. JJ went at 1.9. At the 2.4, Richardson, Prescott, Tua, Young were all available. Jones didn't go till the 4.7 in this draft. So, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say who's going to be there. Every startup draft's so completely different. So, hard to say. Stephen Jones, 12th in our 12-man half PPR. Not sure if I should go wide receiver, RB. I go wide receiver. I mean, or go hero running back and then get your first wide receiver. But I probably wouldn't go double running back there. Oh, please don't draft Trey Lance. If you're going to draft anyone who plays quarterback for the Niners, draft Brock Purdy. Yeah, lots of trades in that league, J-Dubs. All right, let's see here. You guys are already asking for team reviews, so we're basically done. I will draft my defense and we'll hit some team reviews. I mean, I'd just be streaming defenses anyways, but give me the Saints. Yeah, I mean, you can draft Trey Lance in the 8th round, but, like, I just don't know what that's even going to do for you. You know? I mean, Lance has, like, not looked good in the preseason at all. I mean, Darnold has looked better than Lance. I mean, Lance has looked bad. Like, you're kind of drafting him, and I don't think you're going to get that type of value where if something happens to your QB1 or QB2 or they're on bye week and you need to play a quarterback in the flex, that I don't think you're going to get any immediate value out of him. I mean, Lance might fall even further than that. I don't know. I just think it's a little risky. I think if you do draft Lance, he ends up on your bench, and then you're just kind of hoping for the scenario to change in his favor. But I've been out on Lance all off season. But at the end of the day, always tell you guys, trust your gut. Okay. All right, team reviews. Let's do it. Jay Fitness. What's up, dude? Watson at quarterback, Kittle at tight end. That's fine. Eckler, Jacobs, Pacheco, Penny. Redraft, I can live with that. Adams, London, Ayuk, Hollywood, Jones, Shaheed, DPJ. Good late round wide receivers. And good mid round wide receivers. Money Max, Seahawks defense. So you're starting Watson and Kittle, Eckler and Jacobs, Adams, London, flexing Ayuk, flexing Brown. If Jacobs not there, you can start Pacheco. So basically Pacheco, Penny, Zay Jones, Shaheed, DPJ on the bench. Yeah, I like this team. I gotta admit, Jay Fitness, you've been drafting really well lately. I feel like every time I look at your teams, I'm like, yeah, looks good to me, man. Cinnabone, Burrow, Freiermuth. Man, imagine Pat Freiermuth on the Bengals. Anyways, JT Sanders, Javonte, Roshan Gainwell, good running back room, good value throughout the draft. Chase Smith, Pittman, Elijah Moore, Mooney, Mims, pretty good wide receivers. Ravens defense, Younghoe Koo, you're good there. So you're starting Burrow and Freiermuth, JT and Sanders, Chase and Smith, flexing Pittman, probably flexing Elijah Moore, but like Javonte, Mooney, even Roshan Gainwell, Mims down the stretch maybe have some flex appeal, but good core roster for sure. Depends on how Elijah Moore looks this year, but it looks pretty good to me. Tommy at the 1.1. T-Law. T-Law's good. Hawkinson and Conquo. That's fine. Gibbs, Jones, Charbs, McKinnon. I like that backfield. J.J. Ridley, JSN, Lazard, Tank Dell, and Mechie. Your boy Tank Dell? Starting to look like a thing. Myers in the Steelers defense. That's fine. So starting T-Law and Hawk, Gibbs and Jones, JJ and Ridley. Then, I mean, I will say your flexes are kind of up in the air. You know, as the season goes on, it's probably JSN and Charbs. But McKinnon could definitely get in there, and Lazard and Dell could as well. So, and I guess Mechie, sure. So you figure that out. You have enough options. Looks fine to me. Kuda at the 1.6. Kuda, the Superflex format, Superflex League is for active YouTube members. I'm sticking to it this time. Dynasty, it got a little shaky towards the end. But yeah, Superflex League is for active YouTube members. Which J-Dubs just gifted a membership to Senior Cinnabon, which is a 1-month membership. All right, let's see here, Kudo. What'd you do? Herbie, Waller, you're good there. Pollard, White, Mitchell, Mostart, Warren. Good kind of handcuff values at the end of your draft. Really relying on Pollard and White, but I think that's fine. I like both those guys. Hill, Cooper, Williams, Cooks, Juju, Bateman, Rice. Good wide receiver value throughout the draft. No defense, it's fine. And Jake Elliott a kicker. So you're starting Herbert and Waller, Pollard and White, Hill and Cooper, flexing Mike Williams. And that second flex, I mean, Cooks, Juju, Bateman, even Rice all have a flex appeal. Mostart could end up being, I mean, he's in a committee, but other than that, Mitchell, Mostart, Warren, basically committee handcuff guys, and redraft is fine. Those guys have value towards the end of the year, but then the question becomes how long am I willing to roster these guys when other players start to rise on the waiver wire, and then who do I end up dropping, and then who ends up gaining value later on? It's a risky game at times. I do like Mitchell, though, for sure. Team looks fine. All right, Andrea, let's see here. Gino. I still like Gino as a late-round quarterback option. Njoku's fine. Good value there. Barkley, Dobbins, Swift, Dillon, Achane. Ooh, love that backfield. Lamb, Metcalf, Allen, QJ, Collins, Justin Ross. Interesting. Okay. So you're starting Gino and Njoku, Barkley and Dobbins, Lamb and Metcalf, flexing Allen, flexing Swift, I'm going to say. But Johnston could float in there. Dillon and Achane are good bench options. Collins and Ross are fine in that range. I mean, I kind of prefer Rashid Shaheed over Ross, but Ross is getting enough work with the one-teamers. I think it's fine. Team looks fine. Eagles defense. Dicker the kicker. He looked good there. Godfather says, 1 year already. Dang, new season on the horizon. Let's go. Congrats on being a member for 12 months. It is crazy, man. Yeah. Membership for 1 whole year. Appreciate the support, man. And I'm so excited for this year. Every year I say it's going to be the best fantasy season yet, and this year is going to be the best fantasy season yet. All right, Mr. Keep It Going at the 1-7. Fields and Ingram. I love both those guys. Stevenson, Monty, Gibson. I like that. Bigsby and Deuce Vaughn, some handcuff value there. Diggs, Olave, Watson, Pickens, like that. Myers and Chark are good where you got him. Bills defense, Graham good. No, looks pretty good. So starting Fields and Ingram, Stevenson and Monty, Diggs and Olave, flexing Watson, flexing Pickens. Gibson and Myers could float into the flex. Chark could as well. Bigsby and Deuce Vaughn are perfectly fine in redraft for those handcuff values. Bills defense, Graham Gano, you're good there. It was a good squad. Yeah, I like the kind of late round running backs you ended up with in the 7th and 8th there in Monty and Gibson. All right, RS is at the 1-4. Prescott and Andrews. That's fine. C-Mac, Hall, Mixon, Algier, Foreman. That's okay. Waddle, Lockett, Addison, Burks, Tony Boyd. Not my favorite wide receiver room, which I think, can happen if you go tight end there in the 3rd. Then he went 3 running backs through the first 5. I would sacrifice Mixon and go with whoever you like the best there. Williams, Godwin, Ayuk, Kirk, whoever. And then instead of drafting Burks, maybe go with Zach Charbonnet as your RB3. Or you could sacrifice Breece Hall and, essentially do the same thing, because only Hopkins went at wide receiver after that. So whoever you like more. But yeah, you know, especially if you're going to go tight end that early, I probably don't go 3 running backs through the first 5. Just go with 2 if you want that many early on. I mean, your wide receivers have a lot of potential, but some of these guys are a little risky. I mean, you'd be starting Prescott and Andrews, C-Mac and Hall, Waddle and Lockett. Then your flex spots like Mixon, Addison, Burks, Tony can all kind of rotate. Algier, Boyd, and Foreman are fine bench options. I just think, you know, like Lockett's probably fine, but I prefer him as a wide receiver 3. Addison is okay, but he might take some time to get going in his rookie season. Burks has the injury. There's already like some injury history there. The offense isn't very pass heavy. Tony, self-explanatory, kind of the same deal as Burks. Boyd is okay there, but Boyd just has no ceiling, and it's kind of like a handcuff wide receiver to Chase or Higgins or whatever. So, I mean, it's not awful by any means, but I just think, you know, when you kind of go that heavy at running back and you get a tight end in your first 5 and you come out of those first 5 rounds with just one wide receiver, it's not the end of the world, but you really have to hit on those later round wide receivers. You know what I mean? And at the same time, those running backs you get in the first 5, you also have to hit on them. I mean, obviously C-Mac's fine, but Hall and Mixon absolutely have to produce for you. You know what I mean? But team doesn't look awful by any means. Nick says, not liking my team tonight. What we do, bro? Lamar, Pitts, Laporta, Rodgers, 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends. Bijan, Najee, Akers, Zeke. I mean, honestly, running backs look fine to me. Higgins, Hopkins, Flowers, J-Mo, Thielen. I mean, I think what I'd probably do here is take 2 more wide receivers over Laporta and Rodgers. Or at least 1 more over Laporta. Jets defense and Tyler Bass is fine. I mean, you'd be starting Lamar and Pitts, Bijan and Harris, Higgins and D-Hop, flexing Akers, and probably flexing Flowers. I mean, especially as the season goes on. I like Flowers a lot, but yeah, you know, J-Mo with the injury, now this and the suspension. Thielen is like, okay, but is, you know, what is his ceiling really? Is, you know, a veteran in his situation. Zeke's okay right there as a RB4. But yeah, I think over Laporta and Rodgers, I either grab 1 more running back and a receiver or 2 more wide receivers. You know, even if you're taking a dart throw, at least it gives you some upside, right? But team looks okay. All right, so there's your team reviews for the night. Let's roast my team. This team started out really good, I think, and then it like kind of just, I don't know. As things went on, I didn't like it as much. All right, we got Tua and Kirk Cousins at quarterback. That's okay. Schultz at tight end. Yeah, I don't like Schultz. I wanted Kmet. I should have gone Kmet and Dobbs at the 9th and 10th rounds. But it's okay. Do you guys like Schultz? Does anyone like Schultz? Can anyone make me feel better about that pick? Etienne, Walker, Cook, Harris. I'm okay with the running backs here. Mainly because I like Etienne and Walker this year. Cook, I was like, I mean, I guess I just take Cook right here, right? A.J. Brown, St. Brown, Kirk, Dotson, Sky Moore, Romeo Dobbs. I'm completely fine with the wide receiver room. I think it's the best part of this team. Danny Carlson, probably the next best part of this team. And Saints defense. So, yeah, I mean, I probably could have gone like Kmet and Dobbs right here over Tua and Dobbs. And then gone like, you know, well, let's see. I'd have the ability to take, you know, Damian Harris right here and whatever quarterback I wanted. And then at 13.12, basically get any quarterback except Geno and Rodgers at that point. So it just kind of depends on how you view Tua and how much upside you think he brings to the table. But, I mean, I think this team would be fine. I just think I don't like Schultz. So the Tua pick may have not been necessary. But let's see. I'd be starting Tua or Cousins. Schultz at tight end. I just don't like Schultz. Etienne and Walker, A.J. Brown, St. Brown, Kirk, Dotson. I mean, that's not the problem. Running back and wide receiver is not the problem here. It's just like did I spend the right draft capital on Tua right there? And what upside do I really have at quarterback? And then Dalton Schultz is my tight end. So, hey, I got Daniel Carlson, though. That's all that matters. All right, let's see here. Hey, everyone likes Schultz. There we go. Everyone in the chat likes Schultz. Let's go. Drop Dalton, grab Jawan Johnson. That could be a move, too. Yeah, I like that tier running back right there. I mean, especially like, think of it this way, though, J-Dubs. If you're at the 112 and you start heavy wide receiver right here, I do think this range of running back, like Etienne, Walker, if Ramondre somehow falls that far, Jacobs falls that far, like those are all guys who are still have that like kind of elite RB1 potential. You know what I mean? So I like Etienne and Walker a lot at the range they're going at. Yeah, I know the concussion's definitely a concern with Tua. But a healthy Tua sounds like a good thing in fantasy, right? Taysom Hill season? Ramondre I'm with. Yeah, his ADP is a little weird. I don't think he's going to be available at that point. He was the other night, but I think people are going to warm back up to him. Where do you take Brees? I think about where he went tonight is just fine. Maybe even a little bit later. But yeah, right around Jones, Sanders, I think is fair. He still has the upside, even with Cook on the roster now. He's just too good of a player, too much talent, and the offense is going to be much improved this year. So I think right where he went tonight is a good spot for him. End of the fourth, beginning of the fifth makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Zeke is going to steal goal line touches, but Ramondre will be okay, I think. A lot of his fantasy scoring last year came from almost having 70 receptions. So, where's Fournette going? God only knows. So, I got Fournette and Kareem Hunt out there waiting to ruin a backfield, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the night. So, no mock draft after this. I'm just not going to have an upload tomorrow. I'm just going to prepare for drafting with Steven, which is going to be fun. So Steven will be on tomorrow night's stream, 10 p.m. Eastern time. We're drafting for league number 1. It's going to be a blast. So make sure you guys come out tomorrow night and hang out and say what's up to Steven. He'll be happy to see you guys. So, all right, ladies and gents. Sorry, I was a little tired tonight, but I definitely wanted to get on since I missed last night. So still had fun with you guys. I think we still had a good stream and got some good practice in. So I don't know if this prepared me at all for tomorrow, but this is where I'm drafting from tomorrow. So usually like our drafts, like the mocks, they help. But then when the draft comes, it's like, okay, everyone's getting their guys. All right, guys, hit the like on the way out. If you guys are new, thank you for being here. Subscribe. Make sure you guys check out the links down below, Instagram, Discord, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Everyone be safe. Have a great Friday. Love you guys, man. Loves community. Love the Catch fam. I'll talk to you guys soon. With that, I will say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the Catch. And